What's going on, guys? CHF here, bringing you another episode of Coaching Handheld Football, and today we get the Field of Freeze, which is basically the December month-long promo, where we're going to have various events and things to go through, all culminating with this 96 overall, 60 power Sean Taylor, and I gotta say, monster looking card there. Obviously great speed, acceleration, high tackle, zone coverage. Not that great at man, but if you've been watching my channel at all for a while, you know in this particular game, not a huge fan of man coverage. But when we look here at the, basically the calendar of December, it gives you a look into what we're going to have. So basically the Field of Freeze starts today, Wednesday the 11th, and then Ultimate Freeze, which is kind of the traditional Christmas type of promo here, starts on Saturday. It looks like that is going to last all the way through maybe Christmas, maybe the year after, and then it's going to go right into the New Year's promo, which will run from the 27th through the 3rd, and it ultimately ends on the 4th. Now, this promo is a little bit different from the past promos. Still has a lot of similar things, so we'll go ahead and hop into the Field of Freeze, and we will talk about that. So, of course, they always do offer the Field of Freeze pass in this case, which is, I believe, what, $30 or so? Or the sideline pass, probably here in the main store. Yeah, doesn't look like don't know where I'm seeing it. Right now I just see the 2 gem packs, which are 4,000 gems each, which I will definitely do. That's going to unlock what we've seen in these previous month-long promos, where you basically get a special gauntlet, which will get you a 93 overall player, as well as a season mode, which will get you that. Now, as you scroll through, as you earn points, just like in prior promos from both the Ultimate Freeze as well as the New Year's, you're going to get these different achievements by building up these points, going all the way up to when you get 50,000 points, you will get that 60 power Sean Taylor. They're doing something a little bit different this time, though, where you are able to spend your freeze points, but it is not going to reduce it. So say you get those 50,000 points, you can spend them for different things, but if you spend 10,000, it's not going to drop your requirement. So there's no resetting the progress here. Now, a couple of things that we'll look at. You've got the point rewards. So as you progress through these, I did the daily goals for the day. So of course that got me the first one at 100 points. And you see as you go through here, you will claim each of those, and it's pretty straightforward. You will also have this opportunity to redeem your points. And this is how it's going to work. It's basically in addition to all those rewards that you get for getting the points, this is how you can spend them. For example, if you wanted a 74 overall gold player, it would cost you 100 freeze points basically, and it looks like a gold player. Why you would spend freeze points and turn in a 74 gold for basically another 74 gold is beyond me. Doesn't give you anything on pack odds, but another thing you could get here would be 500 gems. The Field of Fear uniform, they do look pretty cool. Based on how the field looks, maybe that's a good idea if it helps kind of blend in, if it's an icy field there. You, of course, have this stat booster as well, which will be a running back stat booster. You can then turn things in for 85 overall program players, which is going to require a combination of these keys, freeze players, and then freeze points. Then you, of course, have this Zero Chill uniform, which is just another alternative uniform. A stat booster for your quarterback. 1,000 stamina and 10 max stamina, a Zero Chill alternate uniform, so 3 uniform opportunities there. This running back breakaway stat reducer is also in there. 50 clipboards where you can turn that in if you're trying to build up your stat reducers. I will have a video for you guys with my thoughts on those. I've been kind of playing around with them, building a few of them up. I'll show you that when it's there. And then we, of course, have the Ultimate Freeze Stadium. This is something I probably want to get. It looks like it's a pretty cool stadium there. I've always kind of enjoyed these winter stadiums. Let's see what it actually requires here. It looks like it's going to take one of these diamond keys, 15,000 freeze points, and then 79 or better freeze players. And then, of course, this other one here is the QB mobility stat reducer, which is likely going to bring down the speed of your opposing quarterback. So aside from that, you will get to see there are a bunch of new players. So you'll see, oddly enough, there is this elite 20 power 95 overall version of the Sean Taylor. But of course, the big one there is that 96 overall. And you'll see this slew of 93 overall players here, starting with the Preston Smith, all the way up to this Big Bender right here. And you'll see across the board, those are the players that you're basically going to be able to get easily with those 4,000 gems. You'll basically be able to select one of these players where all in all, it looks like we've got 10 of them there that we could potentially choose from. And hey, for 4,000 gems to get a 93 overall player of your choice with 40 power, I have to say that's a pretty solid deal. So I will actually be buying both of those. Now, again, if you spend the $30 for the freeze pass, then you don't need to actually spend the gems. It includes that. So if you are spending the $30, of course, do not waste your gems buying the gauntlet in the season. You can get those just by buying it. There are also a bunch of achievements here. Make sure to go through here because, again, it is free to play freeze points that you can get moving up there. I personally will not have the time to grind for this Sean Taylor, and I'm also not willing to invest the $30 in the game at this point in time. But you'll see that you can go through here and do things like, using stamina, using front office points, scoring points in League versus League, Arena, and then it is going to have these specific ones that are going to force you to play some Overdrive. I know why we're still being forced to play Overdrive is beyond me. EA just won't let that mode go, and I guess there's probably, like 50 people who actually like it. So you have that for each of the different schemes. Again, if you want to get these because it is 500 freeze points each, I would probably just say throw in a captain there, play some unranked games, and just kind of spam the same play over and over. Play enough to get your 10,000 points, and then just don't even bother with the rest of that. That's kind of what we see now. Obviously, when the game drops the ultimate freeze, there's actually going to be activities and things to do. I will bring you guys a breakdown of that when it comes out. But for now, I just wanted to break down what we see in the game today with this 4 o'clock release. And from there, you know what? I do want to go in here and just check to see if it's going to show us what these new stat reducers look like, to see if they're there. And they are. So right here, the running back breakaway. This is another one here. It only costs 100 power. So I know that I briefly mentioned, make sure before you buy those slots that they are not going to be something that you can't afford. Why buy 8 slots if you can only use 4 with your current power? And this is going to ultimately reduce their halfbacks. Does not look like it's going to reduce their speed, but it's going to reduce their carry, their acceleration, and their agility. Again, that's a lot to put in there. And honestly, I'm not that impressed with reducing a carry by 4, acceleration by 3, and agility by 2. Doesn't seem like a huge benefit. And then the quarterback mobility boost, I would think, hopefully. Nope, it is not going to reduce speed. It's going to reduce throw power. How that's mobility, don't know, but it will reduce their throw on the run and their acceleration. So slowing down their acceleration a little bit. I see that that's mobility. Throw on the run makes sense. Reducing throw power, I don't know if that's necessarily a mobility type of reduction, but it is what it is. And again, it's only 100 power, so these are 100 power to activate, and it can drop down to 70 if you level these up. So this is actually a pretty cheap way to get at least something reduced. Definitely cheaper than what we're seeing in the other ones there. So overall, not a bad boost. And again, I have to give it to EA. This is definitely a good season. So when you hear me talking a little bit of smack about certain things, I want you guys to know I am actually a fan of the way EA has been handling this. I think Nick Messina is doing a great job as the community manager with the communication that's coming out, the interactions that I see with him in the community. So bravo to you, Nick. And then, aside from that, guys, that's really all that's there as of yet. We're going to see the actual Ultimate Freeze starting on Saturday. Since I'm not making as many videos a week right now, you know what? I'll come around. I'll probably just make a video on Saturday breaking that down. I normally reserve the weekends to not make videos, but since I'm not making as many during the week, I will drop that for you guys so you can grind it as efficiently as possible right when the promo hits. So yeah, aside from that, you know what? I will go ahead and show you guys. I actually am going to buy these. So you know what? We will go ahead and buy both of these right now, and I will make sure that I grind out both of these because, again, I took a month off. So as a result of that, my team is not where it needs to be. So the way, the idea of getting 2 selected 93 overall players right away is pretty appealing to me. It'll definitely help out my squad. So anyways, guys, gonna stop the video right there. Nothing really else to break down at this point in time other than, kind of looking forward to it, jumping back in the game. Doing a little bit of grinding here. Not a huge fan of the live events and whatnot. Again, I'd love to see EA actually implement that auto win, not to mention if they could find a way to bring repost all back. without breaking the game. That would be huge from a quality of life standpoint, especially for guys who are like me who just don't have the time anymore to put hours and hours and hours into the game. If I could play this game and actually like max out with what I could get in an hour a day, man, I'd be singing nothing but praises. It would be fantastic. But the reality is with just different things, you can't do that. You just can't do that. Not if you want to remain competitive. You can get some stuff, but you're just not going to be able to keep up with high tier, elite level play in an hour a day. At least I don't think so. Maybe that'll change as things goes on. But anyways, I love you guys. I will see you soon. CHF out.